Good afternoon, New York, and the rest of our listeners around the globe. My name is June Stoyer, and I'm the host of the Organic View radio show. Our podcast is available on iTunes, Zune, and all major podcast providers. So if you can't catch the show live, you can download it or simply use our free podcast player, which is available on our website at www.theorganicview.com. If you'd like to connect with us, please post a question on our wall on Facebook or send me a tweet at June Stoyer on Twitter. If you'd like to be on the show or would like to find out about sponsorship opportunities, please contact us at questions@theorganicview.com. Today's show is sponsored by MyMumble.com, one of the leading voice chat service providers with locations all over the world. MyMumble offers free 5-seat voice chat service for life, as well as higher capacity plans for any group that requires a secure environment for confidential communication. Listeners of The Organic View can receive 15% off on monthly recurring power servers by using the coupon code ORGVIEW. For more promotional offers, please visit our website at www.theorganicview.com. On today's show, professional beekeeper Walter Haefeker, who is the president of the European Professional Beekeepers Association, board of directors of the German Professional Beekeepers Association, and coordinator of the International Federation of Beekeepers Association Apimondia Working Group 10 on GMOs, is going to be my guest to discuss a big victory in the pesticide battle to protect bees. So I'd like to welcome to the show Walter Haefeker. Good afternoon, Walter, and thanks for coming back.
Good morning, June.
Walter, could you explain to our listeners what was this lawsuit about?
Well, there is an organization in Germany called BUND. It's the German chapter of Friends of the Earth Europe. Many Germans are members in this organization. You can kind of compare it to the Sierra Club in the US. And they put out a piece of information for private consumers, for gardeners, about the use of pesticides in their private garden. And in that brochure, they managed neonicotinoids, and they included information about products from a German chemical company named Bayer. Bayer is a company that many people in America are probably familiar with because they also market aspirin. They're a pharmaceutical company as well as a pesticide manufacturer. And right on the packaging of their products for consumers, they mention with a nice logo that they designed themselves that their products containing certain neonicotinoids are not harmful to bees. And since many consumers are concerned about what's happening to bees, not just in agriculture, but also in their private garden, this was a very important marketing tool to claim that these products are not harming bees. Consumers don't want to harm bees in their garden. The Friends of the Earth Germany disputed this claim in their brochure and alerted to the consumers that these these garden pesticides, in fact, are harmful to bees. So what Bayer did then was they sent a cease and desist letter to Friends of the Earth Europe and or Friends of the Earth Germany, and asked them to refrain from calling their garden pesticides harmful to bees. And the justification for this letter that they gave was that these products are authorized in Europe, and they are authorized in Germany with what is called a B4 rating. And B4, according to German law, means this is a pesticide that is not harmful to bees. So there is the opinion about these products based that comes from the German regulatory body, and then there is what we and the environmental group Friends of the Earth know about what is actually going on with these products. And so because Friends of the Earth, they also checked with us after they received this letter and said, what should we do? Should we cave or should we fight this? And we said we should definitely fight this because we know the scientific evidence clearly shows that there is harm to bees. Friends of the Earth basically told Bayer, well, we're not backing down. We're going to continue with our claim that these products are not safe for bees. And so Bayer didn't back down either and got a German court to issue an injunction against or a restraining order against this environmental group. And this was also backed by the threat of a fine of about $250,000 and detention for up to 2 years. This order was just overturned by the court because the environmental group Friends of the Earth Germany was able to present scientific evidence that clearly shows that they are justified in making this information available to consumers.
Thank you. Walter, why is this such a tremendous victory?
Well, first of all, it was a smart decision by Friends of the Earth Europe not to back down, even though had they lost the case, this would have cost them a significant amount of money, because even during the whole process of litigation, there was enormous press attention. Friends of the Earth Europe immediately told the public, okay, we've just received the cease and desist letter and we're not backing down. Friends of the Earth Germany informed the public about this court case. And the little brochure for private gardeners would have never received so much press attention, and therefore the information that these products are in fact harmful to bees would have never reached so many people had Bayer not done all of us the favor of trying to fight this little brochure.
Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing how things work out.
Well, it's Bayer management, I think, needs to take a little class on the Streisand effect. I'm not sure whether you and your listeners are aware of the Streisand effect.
Everybody, I'm pretty sure people still know who Barbra Streisand is. She is a native New Yorker, I do believe, from Brooklyn. But could you share with our listeners who are not familiar with the Streisand effect what exactly that is?
Well, there was a photographer in California who published a book, I guess, or something with aerial views of California, the California coastline, just so that people could see how beautiful that is. And it happened, just so happened that on one of the photographs, Barbra Streisand's estate was visible, but it wasn't identified as such. It was just happened to be on the picture. But Barbra Streisand then took legal action against the photographer, trying to get her estate out of this publication. And by taking this legal action, she caused the information about the fact that this was her estate to be widely known to the public. So by taking this legal action, she got the exact opposite effect of what she was trying to accomplish. And ever since then, this kind of stupidity is known as the Streisand effect. And Bayer just created a prime example of that by taking a brochure that not a whole lot of people paid attention to and making it part of such a very public court case. And now in Germany and also in the rest of Europe, the whole story and this whole debate, are these household or garden pesticides actually safe for bees or not, are all over the media.
Walter, what does this say about the approval process regarding pesticides?
Well, Bayer was very confident that they would win this case because, they had a approval for these products for this particular use, and the approval included a rating, as I mentioned before, a B4 rating, which in Germany means this product is not harmful to bees. The problem that Bayer may have overlooked is, number one, this approval process and these ratings are designed for the context of professional use by professional farmers. So when you read the legislation that governs this kind of approval correctly, it says that it is not harmful to bees if used by somebody that has taken, by a professional that has taken the necessary courses to be permitted to use these types of pesticides, and if it is not used at higher amounts as envisioned by the approval process. In the context of the consumer that is buying a product in a garden center for his private garden, you don't have somebody that has taken classes on how to use these products properly, and there's also no way of ensuring that the product is actually being used as directed and there is no overdose. So just looking at the formal requirements for this rating, they are not fulfilled in this consumer context. But also, the approval happened many years ago, and the approval was based on research and studies that Bayer, the manufacturer, conducted and submitted. The agency didn't do their own research, and we already know from other neonicotinoids that this authorization process that relies solely on tests provided by the manufacturers is that this process can fail. And so because neonicotinoids are such a controversial subject, since the original approval of these products, many scientific studies have been done that have demonstrated that there is actual harm to bees. So you could say that the rating that was given, the B4 rating that was given at the original approval, is scientifically completely outdated.
So what exactly does this mean as far as helping the end user to properly use the product, as well as knowledge that the I guess the home gardener needs to know when applying these types of products?
Well, in the media here in Europe, this is seen not just as a victory for the bees, but it's also a victory for freedom of speech. That you can't have a gag order against environmental groups providing information to the consumers about the dangers of this product. So that is very good. Because of all of the press attention, now people that see on the label of the product in the garden center that this product is supposedly not harmful to bees will clearly distrust these labels and will no longer have any confidence in these types of industry claims. And, kind of to some extent, you never know what happens in a court case. Bayer may actually decide to appeal this ruling because it's, important for their marketing strategy to consumers to be able to make this claim to have a product that is not harmful to bees. But if they actually appeal this case, which I think is unlikely, they would draw even more press attention to this whole discussion, which in the end of the day will help inform consumers about the dangers of these products. So hopefully they haven't really understood how the Streisand effect works, and maybe they're stupid enough to dig even bigger hole for themselves. We'll see.
Well, I guess it just goes to show that regardless of how deep your pockets are, very big corporations do make very big mistakes. And unfortunately for them, this was a necessary mistake, which actually is benefiting not only the consumer, but benefiting the bees. Walter, thank you so much for being on the show. Can you share with our listeners your blog information so that people can keep up with everything that you're doing, as well as your own podcast?
Yes. We have primarily for beekeepers in Germany a blog and podcast called Bienenpolitik. And we have an English version of that, which I can't update as much as I would like. And to some extent, I don't have to, because there are so many great shows on beekeeping issues, and especially neonicotinoids, that you're doing already that we can simply link to. But that show is called Propolis. If you just Google for Bienenpolitik, or you Google for Propolis in the context of European Professional Beekeepers Association, you will find both of these shows.
And folks, on that note, I will also make it a point to include links with the post-show article that will follow this interview. Walter, once again, thank you, and thank you for your support. It's very much appreciated, and I look forward to having you back.
Folks, all right, anytime.
Thank you. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been June Stoyer with the Organic View Radio Show. Have a great afternoon, everyone.